Hello. Oh, hi. Yeah, today we're playing Prehistoric Kingdom and talking about Jurassic World Rebirth again. Because I never got around to discuss how I would rewrite it. But I will wait for more people to get here before we talk about all that. Hey, welcome, Rob. What is that? Oh, these are actually good pieces. Never seen those. I want just this one. Yeah, that looks good. Truly the best part of any park. And the most crucial, Jurassic will tell you. Yeah, I'm just gonna have... Actually, they're gonna look better over here, aren't they? Yeah, there we go. Alright, is that 90? Almost. So yeah, I know Rebirth has been out for months now, but I've only talked about it once since it came out, that is. And I have more to say. I didn't go into it in detail because I wanted to wait till after I'd had some time to process the film, and because that video was getting long enough. But I want to more thoroughly discuss how I would rewrite the film for Up to Me, because I think even though it was enjoyable, it definitely disappointed me, and it could have been a lot better, and it really isn't that hard. Like, you guys have actual writers on your team. Can they please do... They can definitely do something better than what they did. So, why didn't they? Yeah, I don't really understand. Yeah, you prefer the prefabs. I have never used a prefab in this game, and I probably never will. I just don't enjoy building with them at all. To be fair though, Rob, you do more modular building in Evolution 2 than most anybody else does, except like a couple other builders. Are you excited for modular building in 3? Or not really? I mean, they will have prefabs and workshop items there too. And I think the workshop is going to be great for that game. This building is getting kind of messy, isn't it? Oh, is it that high off the ground? That is a little tall. There we go. Voila. Hey, welcome, Mr. Loophole. Yeah, I agree. The habitats are very exciting, especially, I'm more excited for the stuff we don't already have in this game, which is a lot. We need lights in here. I'm gonna put... I guess we gotta wait for the ceiling for that. Okay, I think we are ready to add the roof. So I'm gonna start back here with not cinder block concrete. Let's go darker. Yeah, solid black is okay. Yoink. Can't wait for that. Mr. Loophole, I don't think it's ever going to happen except through mods. And that will only happen if you make it yourself, probably. This is kind of a short roof, isn't it? Let's make sure it's not peeking through on the side. Alright, good. I wish you could adjust this to make it expand in one direction or the other, because it gets a little annoying. Okay, so I think I'm gonna start talking because there was some discussion of Rebirth today on Discord, and I realized I haven't actually talked about my rewrite of the movie. So yeah, I think it can be a way better movie than what we ended up seeing in theaters, which I did enjoy, for the record. I enjoyed Rebirth. But, like, you have a whole team of writers. Could they not have done something a little better? And I think it is to the film's credit that they attempt something smaller in scale, but I don't think you have to expand the scale of the films to the ridiculous point of Jurassic World, or really expand the scale of most of the story at all, to make it way better. Just kind of collecting my thoughts here. I think that the weakest parts of the film, aside from certain sequences, just talking about the structure, it's hard to do while building at the same time. Aside from the structure, is sure this is gonna float. Okay. Just in the plot, it doesn't have a very convincing driver. The reason for the plot to start is just kind of hand-waved, you know, let's do this thing real quick, get people to the island, and then we can have fun with this movie, which is perfectly reasonable, I think. If it wasn't really easy to make it way more interesting. And I wish they had done what I thought they were going to do before the movie came out. And yes, I'm going back to this again. That being the plot of the DX disease. Now, it wouldn't be the exact same as in the book, because in the book, DX is a prion disease, which is caused by a misfolded protein. And for this to work in the plot of the film, and in film universe, it would have to be some sort of other infectious disease. No, I take that back. It could remain a prion disease. That would work. Hey, welcome, PC. So let's just talk about the DX in the novel. In the Jurassic Park novel, well, specifically in the Lost World novel, while traveling to East Sorna, the team that's there notices that a lot of the dinosaurs are either very young or in some form ill. And the thing that actually drove them to the island in the first place was the aberrant forms, the dinosaurs that had been washing up around South America. Do we like this roof or this roof? Because I already used the terracotta over there. I think maybe this is the best one we have for right here. I'm going to darken it some though. Not excessively, because I always do that. And the whole part just ends up looking too dark. I feel like these are the front roof pieces. Like they're going to be here. Although I wanted room for a sunshade in the front. I'm going to try these. Okay, so the DX disease, it's a prion disease, same thing. Both pronunciations are correct. And it had been affecting the dinosaurs when InGen was first cloning them working there. And they didn't really know what to do about it. So it was kind of ignored. Sorry, not ignored. That's what caused them to shut down the Sorna facility. Sorry, the speaking is going to be really slow because I'm multitasking. Also, no idea how long I'm going to be able to stream today, so it's going to be tricky. There we go. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, so, DX disease. It's... Oh, we got 6 people here, wow. Sorry, I keep losing my train of thought. It's in the Sorna facility, it's killing the dinosaurs, and thankfully it doesn't seem to be transmissible to humans. So... in the novel, they figure this out towards the end. Nothing really becomes of it, but they are acknowledging the risk of spread to humans. Why is this not lined up? Is it not a 90-degree angle? I put this here. That's not even close. I mean, it looks like a 90-degree angle. Heck. Hang on. I mean, yeah, that's a straight line. Let me just try... Okay, yeah, so Jurassic World Rebirth. The whole deleted ending, no. The whole point of going to the island was that they're doing this thing for heart disease, which is pretty random. Like, all of a sudden, their biggest concern is to cure heart disease, which, respectable, it's cured heart disease, great. But it's so sudden in the movie, it gives you the feeling that Parkergenics has some sort of ulterior motive, that this isn't actually heart disease. But no, they were just trying to cure heart disease, and yeah, they were going to make money off of the drug, but, you know, it's not like they were evilly intentioned. Hang on, this is tricky. Why are you being weird? Off the roof a bit. Okay, there we go. You're lined up. You're not lined up. What? Why is this piece smaller? I'm so confused. This is a cloned piece. line these up. Why? What is going on? Okay. Bam, bam. Wait, hang on. There we go. What is going on? Okay. Is the roof not flat? Heck. I think I'm just going to move this roof piece that's under it. I don't know what's going on. How? Okay, this is a straight line, no? Let's test it. Okay, that's a straight line. That is not a straight line. This makes no sense. Oh, it's because I didn't stretch it symmetrically. Dang it. Let's find that piece again. No. There we go. Yeah. No, movie and film is correct. It's both. And I mean, the reason it was made was money, hopefully, also some artistic intent. I mean, why are any movies made? Entertainment and money. But within telling a larger story, yeah, there's not really a reason for it to be there. The next movie will probably largely ignore it, except maybe some carryover characters, I hope. Plot-wise, not necessary. But my rewrite at the DX does fix that. Well, fix is a strong word. It makes it better. Gives the movie a purpose. So yeah. So in Film Universe, basically when the dinosaurs were first clones, the DX strain showed up. And InGen, this is why it would have to be not a prion disease, but some genetic disease of some sort. InGen manufactures a cure which they give to the dinosaurs, and it's all okay. But they are also, just like in the book, aware that this has the potential to eventually spread to humans. Maybe in some early trial run it did, and we could have had an early scene in the movie of an InGen worker, like something like the first chapter of the book, The Hot Zone. And they're like, well, it's okay. They're in a theme park where we have it controlled now. Wink, wink. You get it? Because that's the theme of the whole thing. Yeah. So, InGen has quote unquote cured the dinosaurs of the DX. Jurassic Park opens. Maybe it makes more sense if Hammond himself is not aware of this threat, because I don't think he'd want to open the park with such a direct risk, but it would be in line with some of the other stuff he has. I think it's a little too extreme, though, and does some retroactive work to his character, which I think should be left as is. That looks a little weird, doesn't it? So yeah, so anyways, you would say if the dinosaurs had this disease and there was a risk of it mutating and spreading to humans, why did we never see this in Jurassic World? Maybe it couldn't spread to humans yet, or maybe that strain had already adapted, and it was kept secret, being cured from all the animals. But once they are not manageable in the larger worlds, the DX disease becomes prevalent. When we were first seeing Rebirth stuff come out, we saw the shots of the dinosaurs being sprayed down by someone in New York City, and that turned out to be the Apatosaurus, but it was so that turned to be the Apatosaurus. But we were wondering at first, is there some biological agent that is from the dinosaurs that is risk? Well, I wish there had been, because that would have been an interesting plot. And what they are curing is an illness caused by the dinosaurs themselves, some infectious strains that has been shared from them to humans now. Or what you could even do is have it not be an aspect of the ancient dinosaurs at all, and only came to pass from all the dinosaurs being bred around the world, and poor biological engineering and cloning methods created a genetic disease that then is spreading to humans. In this way, a prion makes more sense because you're handling the meats and such. So in that way, it makes more sense. So not only do we now have a larger threat, and one that makes the dinosaurs relevant to the plot, but let's say this disease is slowly spreading around the world. No one's really sure what it is. This also elegantly explains the dinosaurs disappearing, because I agree that it was a good move for the future of the franchise, and that the Dinosaurs in Our World plot, to me, was very uninteresting and not necessary. Not to mention very poorly done. But just in concept, I don't think it's a good concept. So, at this point, we get to... I cannot speak today. In Rebirth, these... dinosaurs around the world, not only does it explain the dinosaurs spread, losing their spread around the world, and making the actual plot a plot, and it now makes it make sense for the dinosaurs of Isla San Hubert to have a cure. There was no reason that they should cure the heart disease. Not really. Their science explanation is entirely made up and doesn't actually work, which goes against Gareth's, or was it David Coop's all real science quote unquote rule that he follows as one of his rules for writing Jurassic films, all of which that we know about he broke, except for the humor one. And so now we have an actual real science explanation. And the Eosin-Hubbert dinosaurs, their genetic code could hold the cure. And it wouldn't make sense because the disease is from dinosaurs. It's reasonable to find a cure in dinosaurs. Why the three biggest? There isn't really a reason. I don't think there really needs to be in this case. It's just those in particular because it's fun. They don't even need to specify that it's from the biggest dinosaurs. It can just be, we need these three dinosaurs. Or they can come up with some excuse or whatever if they want. I don't think that's necessary. Okay, so, now they have a reason to go to the island. Oh, I remember why, those three. I'll get to that later. They have a reason why the cure works. They have an actual relevant, immediate thing to cure. And something interesting that is brought from the franchise. So then we can expand this further. That's our new driver for the plot, is to cure DX from humans and also the dinosaurs maybe so they can continue to live in our world, I guess, if anybody wanted that. So that is not centered, is it? Yeah. There we go. Okay, so, what was I saying? Go to the island, they start collecting the cure, they're working for Parkogenics, and instead of having this immediately basically solved, hey, we should not make this cure and then sell it for $1 billion, we should actually cure people, there's now a little bit of something to actually figure out before immediately having the solution and just having to convince a single person to abide by it. So they start collecting the cure, we see the mission, and most of the action I think can be kept the same story-wise. I'm just talking about the plot for now. I don't have as big of complaints on the action. Not that it was perfect, and yeah, there would be things I would change, but overall it was enjoyable. Do I want to make this a skylight? I might. Yeah, but I think it needs some expanded support structure. I'm just going to go ahead and place this here. Or would it be better? No. No. Hang on, I can just... yoink. Alright, there we go. Nice. This works as sort of ventilation space or whatever. How's this look from in the building? I kind of want to leave that open. Yeah, I think that works. And we will need a light in here, so before I forget... Am I going to make a light switch on the wall? I kind of want to. But I don't think that I should. Because I'm not doing that level of detail for everything in this park. Okay, there we go. We have the backstage area for the restrooms now. Completed. Does this look like it's floating? No, I actually got it right where it needs to be. Good. I might put some signage on this back wall. That might work okay. Anyways, back to talking about the movie. Oh my gosh. Yeah, the scale really annoyed me. And, you know, obviously it's not perfect in any of the movies, but stop just excusing them for blatantly messing that up. When really the other movies do not do that. At least not to any sort of semblance of that degree ever before has this happened. So yeah, that was just a little lazy. Actually, it was quite lazy. Roof trim. I'm gonna make this concrete. Why am I, like, selecting the corner of the grid? That's super weird. Can you... So let me grab the actual object. No? Okay. Well, anyways. Rebirth. Yeah. So, now let's talk about the actual island. Ilas and Hubert. The excuse being, this is the island from the first Jurassic Park, which they never make clear. Clearly it's a Jurassic World island that InGen maybe bought under Hammond, but never did any extensive work on. All of the dinosaurs are Masrani era InGen, which is very clear throughout the film, but they try to play it off as something from the original Jurassic Park. This could have been a plot point. Parkergenics says, hey, this is the Jurassic Park Islands. And they go there, and maybe Loomis or Zora knows a little bit about this, and they're like, that doesn't make any sense. Or they're figuring out that, hey, this doesn't seem quite right. What is this island? And what we eventually would find out is that it was not even owned by InGen in the first place, but rather owned by Parkergenics the whole time. And, or partially, there's two explanations. One, Parkergenics made the islands. They were trying to compete with Masrani and recreate the cloning technology, which led to... Shoot, just accidentally deleted that whole thing. Which led to the creation of the mutants. Because the mutants don't really make that much sense unless they're part of the hybrid program, which they clearly are. But I think a better explanation would have been to have them be actual mutants, which isn't that hard, if the island was a Parkergenics project where they were trying to compete with Jurassic World. It gets shut down, and the DX disease originally escaped from their failed dinosaurs, not from Masrani or InGen, as he had claimed, which then restores kind of Masrani and Hammond's name for quote-unquote covering it up, when in fact Parkergenics created it the whole time. And they are trying to quietly solve it. Or you could even have it be where they intentionally created the disease and have them be really malicious, and then are trying to cure it. Or they knew of its creation, or they planted it in the InGen facility. Or it was a Masrani facility that then they acquired assets of after Dominion, or after Jurassic World. Either works. And then we're experimenting on creating the D-Rex and the mutants using the dinosaurs already there because it was a secret. Or they literally any of those possibilities works better than what we have in the film, and is more interesting, and allows for an actual twist and something for the characters to figure out while they are on the island instead of just walking around. And it makes the mutants interesting and makes sense more. They don't make sense. Biologically, the Indominus Rex makes way more sense than the mutants do. And so do all the hybrids. They're far more realistic. Maybe the Indoraptor, not really, but at least the Indominus and the Scorpius. Probably Indoraptor too. Though it is pretty absurd. Yeah, I think we'll have the Rebirth Rex skin in Evolution 3, probably as part of the Rebirth DLC that assumedly exists. Or will exist. So, yeah, any of those possibilities makes way more sense and more interesting. So then they... Exactly. So then they cure the disease. Well, they find the cure. You could expand the ending to have them cure it, or you could save that for the next movie, which then actually leaves a question at the end. Other than if... what's the youngest Delgado's name? The little one. Where's... What? There we go. If she's going to be arrested for biological terrorism. So yeah, then we have an actual plot going on. Something interesting that changes. And it is not that hard. Anyone could think of that. Or at least a team of writers could. Maybe not anyone, but like a team of writers could easily think of that. And they should be able to do better than I can do in like a few minutes. You had years to write literally pretty much... They seem to have a lot of freedom. You could have written pretty much whatever you wanted for this movie. And they gave us that. That's why I'm a little disappointed, because it's... You don't have to make it some grand Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom-esque thing to have an interesting plot. And also, my plotline, my rewrite, gives all of the characters way more room for development and have arcs. Also, once again, I would have less dinosaurs in the movie, or I really liked all the background creatures they had. But to be honest, like, the movie works better without the mutants. Especially, actually, what I would do, what I would have thought was cool, I'd said this in my previous Rebirth discussion stream, is... So you keep the beginning with the D-Rex in the lab, or you can change it some, whatever. And that kind of teases that it's going to be the villain for the movie until you actually get there. When they get to the lab and you're expecting the D-Rex to show up, they find its skeleton that's like years old, because the D-Rex is a mutated creature that would not be able to effectively survive in a real ecosystem and would be outcompeted. It doesn't matter that it's big. You know, maybe given the size it is in the movie, yeah, nothing else is going to be able to really just like go kill it, but that thing is not surviving. And also I would have it be the actual stated scale rather than constantly changing every shot. So then we get there and it's dead, and this is the T-Rex territory, and the T-Rex is actually the main antagonist of the final fight, final act, or whatever. No Mutodons, just do Velociraptors or something else. You don't have to do Velociraptors. My problem isn't, I understand why, you know, we get Velociraptors every movie. I'd understand why some people want something new, but that doesn't mean you need to do the Mutodons because they're just silly. Just do Herrerasaurus if you want, or whatever. If you want to make him a mutant, at least make it interesting and look good. So yeah, that's what I do for that final act with the lab. Is you just have the T-Rex be the thing they're fighting off and escaping. You don't even have to have a helicopter. There can be they were just going for the phone or whatever. You can do whatever you want with a specific action, but the driving force of the plot was so lazy and did not need to be. Yeah, the T-Rex... Well, the thing is, the T-Rex isn't 10 meters tall. It's only 10 meters tall in one shot. And then it just goes back to normal. So yeah, that's the crux of it, is to make an interesting driving force for the plot, which can be the DX disease, which works elegantly, is interesting, and gives the characters reason to do anything. Then... Like, there's just so much potential for that movie, and you didn't even have to change that much. The core concept was really good and cool, and you can have fun with dinosaurs without doing something all that crazy. I mean, look at the Lost World Jurassic Park. In essence, the thing people are able to have fun with, they go to the islands, there's dinosaurs, you get Jurassic Park action. They go and there's a T-Rex in San Diego. It's cool. And then the movie is over. But there's so much going on without having this Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom mega plot of having something so huge going on that I keep saying Fallen Kingdom just because that's the best example within this franchise of something out of scale in its storytelling that was not necessary. It is still a quote-unquote small-scale film. You're focusing on just a few characters, but there's really important, well-written stuff going on, and it doesn't demand the viewer's entire attention. You can have fun with it just as it is, but it's still a well-written movie. Rebirth is not a well-written movie at all. Like, it's sad because it had such potential to be a well-written film. There was really nothing stopping it. Unless Universal was being weird about something, I don't want to let Gareth Edwards did good, I think. David Cook again, he wrote 2 really good scripts. Some of his other stuff I've heard is not that good, and Rebirth is not that good. Writing wise, there's great things about the movie. It's a lot of fun. It's worth watching. even for a non-mega fan, it's worth watching. So, yeah, that's basically more of me complaining about Rebirth stuff. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think I enjoyed the cinematography, but there were other aspects of the directing that weren't my favorite. In this movie, I really liked him in Rogue One and Godzilla 2014. I love Godzilla 2014. This one was not on par with those, but still pretty solid, I think. This roof is going to be a little weird to configure, I think. Like, what's going on here? Can't really do anything neat. Just kind of a mess. Should I change part of the texture? Not sure. We're gonna have supports under here. There's gonna be benches and seating right here. I don't know. Gosh, there's so much more of this parking lot. Like, we didn't even finish this cave thing we were doing last time, this thing we walked through. To get to the bus stop. Whew, this thing's just gonna take, like, the time it takes to build a full park in Evolution 2. Like, we've just started framing these staff sections. Yeah, no, I don't like that at all. Let's get this front section complete. Hey, welcome, Jay. Yeah, the actors were great. I really want Henry to come back in the other movies. I'm like, what do they even do here? I always have such a hard time roofing these buildings. Should just start building boxes for everything. No, I think we should just need to have one roof texture. Just those bits need to be fixed. Yeah, it's not that hard to make Rebirth a well-written movie. It's just sad to me that it wasn't. And I'm going to keep saying this. I know I've been saying that basically on repeat the whole stream, but it's how I feel about the movie and it bothers me a great deal. Hopefully next time. The good thing is we can keep saying that because they made money. Not actually as much as I thought. They still, I don't think, quite hit 800. Which my estimate was actually 900 million. Most people were estimating like 800. I think it was a poorly timed release, and if it weren't releasing alongside Superman and Fantastic Four, it could have hit 900, 950. Kind of weird that those three studios all decided to release a giant movie like a week after one another. Like, why do that? Especially, you know, Superman and Fantastic Four especially are competing for audiences. But so does Rebirth. I mean, it's still competing for the sci-fi audience. It was interesting. Okay. How do I make this roof not look weird? Hey, 800 today. Nice. July was a great movie month. I thought it was funny that Rebirth was my least favorite movie I saw this month. Well, least favorite I saw in the theaters. I guess it's not that atrocious if I work on it some more, but I really don't like this. I'm gonna make it even a little shorter. Fantastic Four especially was great. I think it was the only one that far exceeded my expectations. Superman did exceed my expectations, but I had a couple of things I didn't like about Superman, and Fantastic Four was almost perfect. Like, it was kind of crazy. Yeah, the thing didn't do that much. That is true, Mr. Loophole. The retro was mostly stylistic. I wouldn't have minded a little less tech. Yeah, the thing could have been expanded a little bit, but his character writing was great. And he said it's clobbering time. Like, what else do you want? What else does anyone want, really? My complaint was the quote-unquote neutron star. They were like, it's a neutron star, that's like a black hole. And then they literally just did a black hole, except not really. Got it wrong, as movies always do. Like, it wouldn't have been... It would have been really cool if they'd done an actual neutron star, because movies never do neutron stars. I don't know what just happened. I think there might be a couple blocks of concrete, like, off in the sky somewhere. Yeah, movies, like, never do neutron stars, which is so weird, because they're really cool. So why don't we see neutron stars in movies? I don't really know. And when they said, we're going to a neutron star, I was excited. I was like, we're going to see a neutron star. And then it was just kind of a black hole. Which Silva didn't behave properly. Ah, there it is. Oh wait, no, never mind. My initial Rebirth rewrite discussion was much longer. I remember going on about this for about 30 minutes, to the annoyance of those in my immediate surroundings. And much more organized too. It was really good. Would have liked to see that movie in theaters. I'm gonna flip these around. Is that better or worse? I think it's a little better. Oh yeah, that's visibly off angle. It's okay. Building in Prehistoric Kingdom is relaxing. I barely get enough time to play video games anymore. Like, I really... My favorite scene in Rebirth, Pulsars would be interesting, but I don't think that looking at a white screen would be that fun. Although, to be fair, that should also be the case for black holes and neutron stars. My favorite scene in Rebirth. So... Like, my favorite scene in Jurassic Park, yeah, by the way, I would also replace those species because we're getting a new Mesosaurus. Can we at least just get a new creature? Just make it at least something similar, like Tylosaurus, if you want to keep the Mesosaurus archetype, which makes sense for the movie, not to do something drastically different. But, like, Tylosaurus would have been cool. You could see something slightly inspired by the, 2011 design, not like that one because it's incredibly inaccurate, but something with some inspiration taken from it. That would have been fun. What was I saying? My favorite scene, like in Jurassic Park, my favorite scene is remembering Petticoat Lane, followed by probably Alan and the kids in the tree. And Rebirth doesn't have anything like that. It doesn't have any cool plot moments. What's my favorite scene in the Lost World Jurassic Park is the trailers and also the ending with Hammond's speech and the Sorna montage. My favorite bit in Park 3 is the birdcage and okay, wait. So there's no really interesting plot moments. What's my favorite action bit? It's not the boats. I enjoyed the boat. T-Rex river scene was good. Not the Pteranodons. That was very disappointing. Well, not disappointing. It was interesting. It just wasted potential. It was full of wasted potential. I don't know. I mean, it's got to be some part of the second act. Maybe the Titanosaur scene. Even though I have complaints about that one, too. I think it might be the Titanosaur scene. Or the opening, even though I don't like the D-Rex. The opening lab is really cool. Yeah, Jay, that's what I said in my rewrite, is that since in my rewrite Parkergenics was the one who made the islands, they were trying to compete with Masrani and recreate his technology, and they were trying to create the D-Rex, and that's why it failed. But I would maybe have the D-Rex not be a big part in the film, because it failed at being alive, as it realistically would. I'm still just thinking about what piece to put here. I don't really know. I can lower this to like there. Angle it. Wait, am I onto something? No, angling it will not work. But what I can do... how would I rewrite Camp Cretaceous Season 4 and 5? Oh, geez. So much would have to change. Okay, so, Manticore is interesting. Daniel Kahn is, honestly, has potential. I entirely remove a lot of the dynamics I did between the campers for that season. Not for the other seasons, fine the other seasons for the most part. So I'd entirely remove a lot of those aspects. And where's this triangular shadow being cast from? Is that here? Yeah, it is. Okay, so I'm removing that. Then, instead of having them go to Manticore Island at all, I'm having them go to Isla Sorna. Maybe Manticore is present there still, but not in any capacity like we see in the show. We're addressing Isla Sorna. That's where Manticore's working. That's just more fun and cooler. So, from there, where do we go? I think to, we get our dinosaur action, figuring out what's going on with Manticore. Maybe there's... I would just remove the dinosaur mind control. I don't think there's any way that works. We can have a lot of the same dinosaurs and stuff. Really, that should have just been one season. We get Daniel Kahn revealed. Yeah, Smilodon can still be there. But stop just making it this sandbox of running away from dinosaurs with really poorly constructed action that just keeps going. I do a lot of work on rewriting the characters. Some of their ideas were good. The ending is pretty similar. They're working with Manticore, ends up working with Biosyn. They get they get revealed. The campers make it back safely. Really, I would just have them go to Sorna and do a lot of what they were doing the same on Nublar, except Manticore is also there. Basically that. Really, the Smilon was the biggest fault in the franchise. Yeah, Potion Sugar is nuclear. Why would why is it such a big issue? I mean, I see why it's an issue, because the whole recreation process relies on eggs. See, yeah, that would be awesome. I think that Carnotaurus should have been in Rebirth, and it should have been the gas station scene. That should not have been Velociraptor. The Mutodon's definitely not. Velociraptor can literally just not be in the movie. Or have them have another scene somewhere, but just do the Carnotaurus. Like, at this point, just do it. Give us the Carno. Okay, what if... This might be the only way this works, but it's going to be really ugly. Guess I can... Hang on. This is a weird looking roof. Why is this even raised? I think there was a way better way to do this. Oh well. What was I saying? Yeah, I see what you mean. The mammals don't need to be. My rewrite for Dominion would not include the prologue. In fact, I think the prologue is maybe the greatest mistake of the franchise. But that deserves its own video. I say that like I'm ever going to make that video. I've been talking about it for like years. Boom. Why are those not the same? I see why. Jeez, this is not symmetric. Have I created the ugliest roof possible? No one is going to want to use the restrooms at this park. Sedusaurus and Microstratus, why was that a fail? I'm glad for Secret Species Pack. Yeah, but Sedusaurus of the small species might be my favorite in the game. I think it's great. Sorry about my humming. I do that a lot. If you're on these streams often, you know that. My version of the final fight in Dominion would literally just be a straight up 1v1 between Rexy and the Giga, and it's cool, and it's a close fight, and Rexy almost loses but wins and then dies from old age plus injury. That would be the best version of that fight. Why is this not symmetric? I don't understand at all. That's lined up, that's lined up. This is centered, no? Okay, fine. The best way to remake Dominion is I've never used like half the lagoon species. Not in a real park, like early when the game was starting out, sure. But basically all the DLC ones except Dunk I've not used. And Archelon, which I only used once in Arizona. Honestly, I wouldn't have minded a dinosaur fight in Rebirth if it was just T-Rex showing up to beat up the D-Rex. I would have liked that. Alright, there we go, a roof. Why is this not symmetrical? I don't get it. This looks symmetrical, right? Am I crazy? Okay, alright. That roof needs more support structure on the front. This whole siding thing needs to be fixed. Let's no idea why I can't select that, but okay. Let's move this up as much as possible. Can I do that? Or does that look silly? It does look silly. Unfortunately, I have to go now. Sorry the stream is being a little bit cut short today. But that's all I have time for. So let's save this. We will hopefully repair whatever this is next time. But thank you. Bye.